If you want to go into the Q&A, stick around, and I'll answer all your questions the best of my abilities, and we will go from there. So let's see what we got. Red Panda Pie. Never got the notification Rob's live. That's okay. It's YouTube's world. We're just living in it, and that's pretty much it. That's how it always goes. Follow me on Twitter. I think they're doing a better job of just notifying people when I do want to go live, because I stream live on YouTube and on X now. That's it. Anyone buying Koval? No, but probably do pretty well, like everything else. Don't even know about it. Stay away from Terra and FTT. Andrew Tate mindset. It's probably not a bad idea, actually, but who knows? This is the problem with us, like with gamblers, because we're gamblers. We take a look at that Terra and we're like, maybe I can get in on that. Maybe I can make a quick buck. I just don't like it. I don't like doing that because you're chasing greens, but I still think we're very early. I got some Pith, some Pyth, Bonk. Also got some Grok. Grok, of course, the AI. I think it's a meme coin. Of course, Grok is going to be implemented with X, which is the AI version of ChatGPT and Bard, which Elon Musk is implementing into X. Can't wait for that to actually happen. Andrew Tate says crypto gaming sucks. I'm not going to disagree with you. A lot of these games have been really sucking and pretty poor, I must admit. But this is the thing that I like about, and I said this yesterday, what I like about crypto gaming is, first of all, Andrew Tate mindset was right. A couple of years ago, it was awful. Just trash and nonsense. And it was just so overhyped. Look at this. This is damn it, it's the wrong one. Illuvium. Illuvium, when they first started building, the price of their token went to $1,800. And that was without a game or really nothing, just a skeleton. And they said, hey, it's going to take us like 2-3 years. And then people are like, whatever, YOLO. And then they just gamble into it. And then, of course, it goes down here. Now you can just pick it up down here, but no one wants to because they're afraid. And that's why, like, people like us, you watching this video, you've stuck around, you've dollar cost average, you've done your due diligence, and you put in the hard work. You've bought here. Now, at some point, not to say this is going to hit the all-time high, but I mean, shoot, it's got a game out. It's on the Epic store. People are downloading it right now and playing. And yeah, so this is the beauty of the time. And that's why, like, when we go get overheated, I'm dumping on everybody. That's how it goes. Not dumping, kind of dumping. Baby Well Tech's in the house. The Art of Science is bull. Similar to Gala Tokenomics. Yeah, they also have nodes for sale. They're a studio. Looks like they're going to put out a lot of different games. Yeah. We talked about it yesterday, matter of fact. Hey, Ben. Chris Wynn. Every influencer not talking about gaming such as, look, man, I've been talking about this early. I've been talking about this, I want to say, towards the beginning of the year. And of course, there's some, like, but you have to understand, like, some people, this is why I have, like, Crypto Stash and those guys on, because they've been talking about it for, like, years and years and years. 2020, 2021. Like, I just got into it, again, like around the beginning of the year. And now, of course, everybody's like, hey, crypto gaming. It's fine. I mean, if you want to come in now, that's great. Hey, I welcome you with open arms. That's it. A cat, a Farrer, Miguel, J Today, Kuji is a gem. Yeah, it looks pretty good too. Probably do well. Good morning. Let's go Chiefs. Oh yeah, got to get the game in, right? DC Air. Tom says, hey, Rob, was fun to get my NIR off of Coinbase. Hey, I just did a video. If you use the NIR wallet on a browser based, I just did a video on how to, because you have to move everything over before January 1st. So that'll drop today. That's like probably 1% of you, of my whole subscribers. So I just did one video for you if you need help. It's very simple, actually. Hey, Naz. Hope everything's going after everything happened with significant other. Sorry about that. Bullroy says, Rob, sell now and buy back lower, just hodl. I mean, I take profits along the way, but I wouldn't, me personally, I don't feel like it's in my best interest to dump everything now and just kind of hope everything goes down, because I think, leading up to the halving, maybe in 2024 or 2025, we're going to see some, I mean, massive, massive growth. Like you think this is big, just wait until the real bull market comes. And that's when things get overheated. There's a video I've done when I'm going to sell 80% of my crypto. It takes a look at different indicators that you can take a look at. And that's when I'll sell 80% and step down from the channel. Yeah. Lovely day there in Puerto Rico. It's always lovely in Puerto Rico. It's always nice. It's a very, very beautiful place. Expensive, unfortunately, especially real estate and everything else because it's imported. But yeah. Rob, who would your dream interview be? It would be me in 2012 asking why I didn't buy any Bitcoin. That would be a dream one. Nice. Great. Lunar Moon. Is Trust Wallet as good as cold storage? Some people say it is. Some people say like it's the greatest thing, but I'm just going to keep it simple. I don't know enough about Trust Wallet to really comment. I don't use Trust Wallet. Me personally, I use 3 different cold storage devices. TANGEM, my favorite. Ledger, my distant second. And Elipal, which actually should be more like second, actually. It'll be third because with Ledger, it's very cumbersome and pain in the A, but you can do all the staking, all the cool stuff with it. So there's that part. But I just keep it between those 3 different devices because I don't want to deal with it and complicate my life. I did that last time, trying to do all these tricky things and move things around and maybe keep them on exchanges. And just keep it simple. That's why I made those rules for everybody, for me to follow. And if you want to follow, go right ahead. And they're over there. Let's go Gala Army. Yeah. Not that I don't like Trezor. It's just like every project that people comment about and that I don't know about, it's not because I don't like that project. It's because I don't know about the project or I haven't bought the project. With Trezor, it's because I've never used it. I have no ambition to use it. I already have 3 and that's plenty. So, I mean, some people might say, oh, you should do the Trezors, everything else. Why? I got ones I like and use and I understand them and they've never been hacked. So I feel pretty good. Ben's bookshelf. That's funny. First there's Ben's chair and there's Ben's bookshelf. That's hilarious. Hold on. That's good stuff. What do you think of Stacks? I own Stacks. And it's one of those ones that I bought like in a lump sum a long time ago. So I have it. Can you stake with Tangem? You can, but it's limited. You have to use Wallet Connect. And quite honestly, Ledger has them beat in that department. And I'll just be honest. They've done a lot of updates with Tangem. Namely, you're able to generate a seed phrase or a mnemonic phrase, or you can keep the private key within the 3 cards. It's your option now. But one of the things they haven't done is mass adopted every type of staking that you can have out there. Ledger right now is the best for that one. Have you looked at Beefy? Doc 1. I have not, but probably do pretty well. That's true. Why won't Coinbase list Gala? They used to list Gala version 1, and then when they transferred over, they didn't support that swap. Jerks. But I don't know. That's a good question, Road Trip. Rob, have you ever accidentally screen shared something you didn't want to? Personal balance, passwords, home address accidentally. Yes. One of my earlier videos that I did, I was showing people, I think it was like 2-factor authentication with a text message versus 2-factor authentication with a Google Authenticator. And I gave everybody my phone number. And of course, that was when I had very few subscribers. So somebody actually called me and said, is this Rob? I said, yeah. You go, hey, you put your phone number on a video. You should probably take that out. I was like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And then I deleted it. But that was a very old video. David says, no desktop to work with on Tangem. They don't need it. There probably is some kind of, no, I don't think so. Everything I've ever used with Tangem is through my phone. The app itself and the cards right here. And again, like you know, when you're using the Nano Ledger and you're like, oh, I want to transfer things, you got to use those buttons or the ones up here. And you got to plug everything in, all that crap. So like with this one, I'm like, do you need some near? Press the button. There you go. And that's it. You just do this. It's great. I love it. And Ledger has worked great for me. We'll also get a TANGEM next bull market. See, and some people just love Ledger. That's what makes the world go round. Differences. People love this. People like that. People invest in this. People invest in that. That's what's great. Yeah, it was hilarious. They called me. Didn't even text me. Just called me out of the blue. Joel says Echelon Prime. Yeah, Echelon did pretty well as well. Yeah. I have the same question about Gemini and ADA. I don't know. Winklevoss twins are very odd. And but remember, Coinbase didn't list ADA for quite some time as well. John says, is there an in and out over there on the island? I don't think so. Rob, there was a mini clash between James and Meckler of Algo and CBDC. I have no interest at all in Algo. It's the same thing. I don't know what happened there, but it's the same thing with like people are all up in arms with Ripple because they're working with the different banks to create a CBDC. So whatever. I don't know. I'm just in it for the tech, baby. I'm just in it for the tech. I'm just kidding. What else? So Cowboy Curve says, I rolled 401k to iTRUST. Do you think they will eventually have staking features? They already do, as a matter of fact. You can stake within your wallet. Now that was Polygon, and that was 8 months ago. I'm not for sure if they're still doing it. Let me find out. But they've done it before, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it again. But I understand. But there might be a hassle because of that new IRS rule that's coming out. Which, if you haven't seen the video with me and Sheehan, it's pretty interesting. What the IRS is trying to do is do KYC and AML against all different types of wallets. And if you have a swap feature, they want to know who you are and all your information and documentation. So, and then of course there is a gray area with staking. So that maybe that's it. Rob, any hope for ADA? Sure. I like ADA. Cardano could do pretty well. I don't see a problem. And I got to tell you, if you're looking for the best experience in staking, Cardano, hands down. Oh, that's a good question. Will you own the upcoming Vulcan Forge nodes, Rob? Maybe. Time to get D-Jenny. I don't know. I do own some Vulcan Forge. I bought some a long time ago, but we'll see. It's the same thing with Playbull or Bull. Nodes are coming out. Not too expensive right now. Golfer said, I believe iTrust only had dot staking. Could be. Rob, are you staking AMP? I'm not. I own it, but I don't have it. See, it's amazing. Like when people ask me these questions, I'm like, oh yeah, I own that, and that. But there's a difference between actively dollar cost averaging every day, like what we talked about, and just holding on to it till the next bull run. Next bull run's gonna be big, I think. Noel says, so IRS wants crypto to be the same as CBDC? Yes, exactly. They want to know all these wallets. And of course, that's America. That's not for everybody. Every country has their own jurisdiction and what the rules are going to be. Luna Classic, wow, Luna Classic has over 1 trillion tokens staked. I wonder if that's just the team itself. I think that's it. Rob, hold on. Rob, are you anti-self-directed IRAs because of the paperwork or expenses? I know you like self-custody and tax breaks. So if you're looking for like a self-directed IRA and things like that, I just use iTrust because I don't really want to deal with it. Also, a lot of things when people will say, well, it's a self-directed IRA, but I believe, and correct me in the comment section, let's just pull this up. This is it. So this is the thing that I keep coming back to, because people can say, well, you can hold it. You can hold everything and have it in your possession. This is from Fairview Law Group. And it was a story about, I guess this happens more often than not. If your IRA owned LLC holds precious metals, so think about that. If it's a commodity, they're talking about commodities, right? So depends. I mean, what you believe that crypto is, because not even the US government knows. If your IRA-owned LLC holds precious metals that are in your possession or within an IRA-owned LLC safe deposit box, you got a major problem. And McNulty commissioner ultimately ruled that although an IRA can purchase certain types of precious metals, those metals must always be in the physical possession of a trustee or custodian, meaning you can't hold it. Thus, when Mrs. McNulty, as the manager of Green Hill, her IRA-owned LLC, took physical possession of the American Eagle coins, she was deemed to take a taxable distribution of the value of the coins. Because Mrs. McNulty did not acknowledge this taxable distribution on her personal tax return, she was subject to additional IRS penalties. So imagine this. You're doing all these things. You're like, I'm going to possess this. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm good. Commodities, no one really knows. All right. And then you go and you're 59 and a half years old and you sell it. And they're like, hey, did you take possession of it? Well, yeah. You can't do that. So all the different things that your tax benefits are going to go away and you're going to get penalties. So this is the same reason why, like Corey from Swan Bitcoin, I mean, he's a major proponent of self-custody and Bitcoin, and he's a Bitcoin maximalist. And he's like, look, he goes, from all the legal experts we have, you can't custody your crypto by yourself. You have to have a custodian, somebody else out there, and it can't be part of your LLC or C Corp or S Corp. So there's the story. So there's a long answer. VeChain. Miguel says, snapshot is December 1st. You got to have them on Elysium. Seems a good opportunity. You gotta have the Vulcan forged nodes, I guess. Not for sure. Hey, pause. Tau looks good. Have you tried Signal? Yeah, it's easy, but it's nothing easier than Cardano. I'm gonna tell you why. Because like with Solana, I believe there's a time frame when you can actually take things off and wait and whatever else. With Cardano, it's like if it's there, you're like, I need this today. Off it goes. And that's it. And you never lose possession. It's always in your wallet. It's always in your wallet. That's the beauty of it. So if you are looking to stake with somebody, I recommend DNAUS stake pool. There's a link in the description. I show you exactly how to take things off of the exchange, put it into a specific wallet. That could be the Daedalus wallet. That could be Yoroi. That could be a host of different ones, and how to stake with us. And the different metrics that you can take a look at for a good stake pool operator or SPO. But yeah, I mean, that's still good. I got nothing against Solana. I own Solana. Just saying. I think it's the best. Do you have a favorite Bitcoin mining company? No, not really. I own Mara stock, so I guess I'm pretty biased about that one. I should get Riot. I like those guys. But not Antpool or anything like that. And besides, I'm not a Bitcoin miner, so not a big deal. Just joined. We discussed Adam. Yeah, I told everybody to sell it because there was this no, I'm just kidding. We talked about Adam, how it's up and doing pretty good. If you want to find out anything about Cosmos and Adam, just watch CryptoCito. He's really deep into it, and he knows a lot more than I do. I don't blame you. Clean Spark for the mining. Well, Brennan, you made it. Do you stake your near, Rob? I should. The new staking has been great. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate you. Have we discussed Pyth. Yeah, we discussed Pyth. I bought some. And also, what is that one? It's ranked number 28 on CoinMarketCap. Let me just take a look. It's not going to pop up here. And you got to understand, like, Caspa, that's it. Caspa's doing pretty good. Pretty good idea to buy some. No, it's with it being down 10% this week, this might be a good time for me to maybe accumulate some more Caspa. But you have to understand, all the things we just talked about, all this stuff, like all these things could crash tomorrow. Couldn't they not? I mean, it's a very volatile market. So don't think just because like, oh, well, you know, Rob's getting into this stuff and maybe I should, you know, sell everything or whatever else. Be careful because it doesn't go in a straight line. I'll show you something else. Let's see. Pullbacks. Here's a pullback in the last one. Or no, that was two. Here's a pullback for the last bull run, 2017, right? two runs ago. And you'll notice that even though we go up, there's always like a correction and goes back down. That's when people sell and they're like, I'm out of here. But sometimes it's just good just to hold on to it. Doesn't mean you got to sell at the very tippy top. I'm not. But I'll tell you this, like maybe that third or fourth different start of the pullback, I might sell then. And then if you think like, well, that was a long time ago. Look at this one. Here was the last bull run going from February 21 past November. And look at these pullbacks. So again, it's not always in a straight line. You can hold and hold, but at some point, maybe you want to think about selling. News on regulations. Just watch that video with me and Sheehan. It's I called it IRS insanity or something like that. Rob, have you seen the new staking rewards interface? No, let's take a look. And what they're referring to is this website, stakingrewards.com. Ooh, look at that. So very nice. What's great about this site is you can see like all the different assets that you can stake, and it'll show you. If you click on something, usually we'll tell you what kind it is. Stake token trends. They used to have like a guidelines of how to do this. Oh, you can run your own validator. Oh, look at that. And it shows you how to do it right there. And they'll give you questions and answers. So that's called stakingrewards.com. If you've got some crypto and you're like, maybe I should, can I stake this? What's the percentage? What's the lockup times? What's the risk? Just go here, stakingrewards.com. Yeah. Susie says, hey, Rob, I should order the 3 TANGEM wallets you link, but they have a 10% off for Black Friday sale. You still get paid. As long as you click on the link and down in the description, I'll get my kickback for the affiliate commission. But in all honesty, you don't really have to. I appreciate it, though, but get that 10% off. Please talk about taking profit strategy. Crypto Shank, it's your lucky day. I'm not going to do it, but I got a great video for you. I have a decent video for you. If you look in the description, see this video right here, why and when I'm selling 80% of my crypto in 2025, watch that video. It'll make a lot of sense. That's all you got to know. That's not actually, no. That's just your starting point of what you should know. So I hope that helps. Junior says, hey, Rob, do you ever consider that the next bull run might not have as much printing and inflows in the economy? Like back in COVID, those 6 trillion was one-time thing. Yeah, but you know what? Well, first of all, I'm not even for sure that the bull run will be in 2025. There's a lot of people that make a good case that it could be just 2024 and that's it. And then if people who are sitting, and that's why like it's good to look at indicators, not like price, like here's my price prediction. It has to go to 200K and then I'll take some profits around after 175. That's not a good plan, I don't think. I think you really have to look at the different, like, you know, Pro multiple, MVRVZ score. take a look at some macro effects. And of course, all the things that we just talked about are in that video. So for me, as far as like inflows and things like that, I think it really depends on a couple of things. If we can get that ETF come through, then we've got all the different asset managers and the RE, not the real estate investors, the fund managers, who can actually tell people and give them advice like, this is what you could actually put it into. It's a very risky asset, but over the last decade, it's outperformed every asset class that we've ever had. And maybe you should allocate to 1% to 2%. And then you do that across a wide spectrum. That would be one thing. And then of course, as far as like the money supply, people say, well, the M2 money supply is really the whole thing, the end all be all. And that's what has propped up our industry so much because of all the different money printing. That's true to a point. But remember, in the last 3 to 6 months, what has been happening? We just talked about it. The M2 money supply is actually retracted. And during that time, how much has your portfolio gone up? So I just think there's a shift right now of what people are investing into. And yes, they get a little bit risky. But when we get into like, if it's a hard landing, full-blown recession, I don't think that risk on assets are where people are going to put their money in droves. So just be careful. Rob, when you're doing an hour-long video on Bitcoin diamonds, Ben has that locked up. He's good to go, which are very fun to watch, actually. Chris says, when you take profits in 2025, where will you put your profits? Bitcoin, real estate. That's the thing. That's the thing, is that it's under the assumption that you have to understand that if you put things just in cash, which is fine, I see cash as a short-term store of value. It is. It is. Because you can put it in dollars, and let's say, okay, here's a prime example. Let's say you're in El Salvador. Even Mark McCormick talked about this. Let's say you're in El Salvador, you put everything into Bitcoin, and then in November, it drops by 30%. Your purchasing power just dropped by 30%. Is that a pretty good idea for you for a short-term store of value? Probably not. But if you can actually say, well, this isn't everything, I didn't put my every type of allowance into Bitcoin, it's a great long-term store of value. So you have to understand, when you sell and do these things, you'll never get out of this game of assets, because you have to have that money work for you at some point, because if not, it'll just inflate away. That's why the inflation rate is, you take a look at that, you're like, well, I can't just keep it in dollars. Over 20, 30, 40 years, what's going to happen? Nothing. You know how much a million could buy you 40 years ago? A country. These days, it can't buy you rice. You know what I mean, though. So to answer your question, I'll take off the profits. We'll see what the real estate market is doing. Probably build up, probably put money into our current real estate holdings to do some updates that we need to do for the short-term and long-term renters. And then for the sports facility, probably have to do a bunch of different upgrades there as well. And then just kind of sit back and wait, because what goes up must come down, because every crypto market has a blow off top, and I'm not going to hit the top. I'll tell you that right now. But you'll see it crash, and then you'll start to layer back in. So it'll just be always doing that. Eric says, is Argentina dollarizing deflationary? I'm not sure what the heck is going on over there. It's at one point you had Javier Milei. He's the new president of Argentina, president-elect. I don't know if he's taken office already. I'm not for sure. But he's talked about how great Bitcoin is, how he's going to shut down the central banks, which looks like he's going to do that. But it looks like he's shifting position as far as like dollarization and some parts of the Bitcoin aspect. So I'm not for sure, and I'll let you know when I figure it out. Bitcoin is the exit strategy. So one, it is the exit strategy if it's a part of your portfolio. Some people say that's my only portfolio, and I'm only going to do that to get out of the rat race. But I tell you, for some people who, like I've said this before ad nauseum, if you have debt in your credit cards and it's crushing you, if you don't have a roof over your head and you've got some things that you want to buy, then don't be the homeless person that's walking around with your nano ledger and like Golem, like, oh, my precious, I can't let go of this because this is the greatest thing of all time. You got to live. So Bitcoin can be the exit strategy for long term, but I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that Michael Saylor probably has some other assets besides Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure he's got a car or multiple cars. I'm pretty sure he's got houses or multiple houses. And I'm pretty sure he's not just sitting on a stack of ledgers like Scrooge McDuck. I could be wrong though. Where'd you buy Bonk? I bought it on Orca, orca.so, which is Solana DEX. Unfortunately, if you're an American, you can't use it unless you're in Puerto Rico. You could, it's against the terms and conditions to use a VPN. So I would never say to use that. But if you want to get a VPN to protect your identity as you're perusing the internet and don't want to get hacked, I recommend NordVPN. There's also a link in the description for that as well. Yep, Panda Pie says it right. Seems like there are more questions about alts in the chat. We're starting the bull run, which is, it gets concerning at this point because it all starts with people who are like Bitcoin only, that are veterans. And they sort of think about, okay, maybe some alts, and then things get a little dicey when you start to get the average person who's like, hey, I know we haven't talked since 2021, but what's up with Bonk? And then you're like, ooh, this could be a top. Jason says, hey, Rob, are you investing more in crypto overall than as we go into next year? I know you mentioned it's always worth to diversify. No, it just depends on the prices. And like I've said before, I did this thing called dynamic dollar cost averaging. And if you're like, what's that? It's this. I'll show you. Oh, new gifts and stickers. Sweet. Let me go here. So it goes like this. Like there's always these time and risk bands, and you can find these wristbands on Ben's website, into the CRYPTOVERSE. And what I do is, like, so let's say my base is $50 a week. That's what I'm going to spend on Bitcoin. And then when it's in the 0.7 or 0.8, that's my starting point. But as the price starts to drop, it becomes less risky, right? So maybe what I do is, instead of saying $50 a week and it goes into this 0.6 or 0.7, I put in $60 a week. And then over here at 0.5 to 0.6, I put in $70 a week. And you see where I'm going? So then when it starts to bottom out, I'm actually spending, $150 versus $130, like over 130% or something like that. 140, whatever it is. I'm spending a lot more as we start to drop off. Now, I didn't do this perfectly. I actually was doing this thing called, it was so dumb. It was micro DCing when everything was at the low point. I wasn't buying as much as I should have, but I rectified myself in 2022 or beginning of 2023. But regardless, that's pretty much what it is. So it's not like I'm like, okay, now's the time to go all in and alt. It's kind of like just doing this and just going forward. But again, you can do the ways you want to do it. All right. New Day says, I lost 50K my first go round. Got humbled and educated, which folks like you. This is my third cycle, and I'm 3% up. Nice. On a large portfolio, which is an unbelievable place to be in this phase of the cycle. And crypto, it's always never wrong to take some profits. Who knows what's going to happen next week? Yeah, thanks. Scrooge McLetcher. I'm renting a moment. That's good enough. Yeah. Solana will kill XRP and ADA. Man. Whichever way it goes is fine. Let the strongest one win, right? That's the free market. What about Pulse Chain? I don't know anything about it. Let's see. Solana will be back. We'll be next ETF for BlackRock. They're not calling for 3,200. Better dig into your research. Yeah, it could do pretty well. Or it could go to zero. One of those two will happen. And perfect. And Moet says it perfectly. Solana will be the new world reserve currency. It'll be $1 million per token. This will be the clip that I see in X tomorrow. But we all know that's ridiculous. But that's it for today. So look, everybody like today's video, give a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Everything talk about is time sensitive. But that's it for today. Thanks so much for everybody. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. Adios.